Sue, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, how about I make you a co-host too? How's that? Makes sense?
Okay.
Or I'll make co-host. There we go.
Want me to record it?
Would you please? You know what? That was on my to-do list.
Well, it's recording right now, which is weird.
It does say it's recording, doesn't it? Huh. How about we let Whitey in? George Burgess, no. Not just yet, right?
Because if it's recording right now, it's going for public record right now before the meeting starts.
Yeah.
Is it that cold in your house?
We're going to start recording, please. Thank you, Sue. And I will call the Clay Township Planning Commission meeting to order at 7:01. And I would say, have everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. And Chris has the flag, okay?
I have one too.
Go ahead, Whitey.
No.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Whitey.
Chris Hiltunen.
Here.
Whitey Simon here. Christine Holcomb.
Here.
Thank you. Harold Bain.
Here.
Mark Borchardt.
Here.
Tom Kozel.
Here.
Robert Musling.
Here.
Keith Fell.
Here.
Kathy Schweikart, Chair.
Here, thank you. Item number 4 is approval / amendments to agenda.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a addition to the agenda. Looks like we need to put our meeting dates for 2020 on the agenda.
Okay.
So I will make a motion to include on the agenda under new business. D, new business.
D.
The schedule of the Clay Township Planning Commission meetings for 2021.
Support.
All right.
Request a roll call vote.
Okay, who supported that though, please?
I did.
The meeting schedule?
Keith.
Keith, thank you, Keith.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Roll call, please.
Who moved this, please?
I did, Whitey. Chris.
Jean.
Who moved?
I did.
Chris.
Christine Holcomb.
Okay, and who seconded?
Keith Felt.
Steve?
Keith.
Keith, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mark Borchardt?
No.
Chris Hiltunen?
Yes.
Whitey Simon? Yes. Christine Holcomb?
Yes.
Harold Bain?
Yeah.
Keith Fell?
Yes.
Tom Kozel?
Yes.
Robert Musling?
Yes.
Kathy Schweikart?
Yes, and we're just talking in regards to Christine's motion to add the officers election,
Yes.
or excuse me, not the
yes.
officers, the meeting dates, I'm sorry.
Meeting dates under D of the new business.
Okay, to add that. So then I'll still go back, so motion carries. So then I'll go back to approvals, amendments to agenda. Any further? Hearing no other ones, do we have for the approval amendments to agenda?
There hasn't been a motion.
I'll
No,
make a
that's what I
motion
mean.
to approve.
Thank you.
Who's that, Harold?
Oh, Keith.
Keith. Keith.
Keith.
Keith. And second?
I'll second it.
Robert?
Yes.
Okay.
Roll call, please, waiting when you get there.
Mark Borchardt.
No.
Chris Hiltunen.
Yes.
Whitey Simon. No. Christine Holcomb.
No.
Harold Bain.
No.
Keith Fell.
Yes.
Tom Kozel.
No.
Robert Muesling.
Yes.
Kathy Schweikart.
No.
The motion 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fails by 3 yeses and 6 noes.
So we're not approving of the agenda.
Well, we now can move the agenda unless there are other additional changes. This would be a change that has been removed from consideration. Yes? No?
You would now make a motion
The
to
rest of
amend the
agenda
agenda.
is fine.
Someone has
so
to make a
moved.
motion.
I move.
What was
How
the
do you
motion?
What is the motion?
Move the agenda as amended to remove under new business A and add under new business D the meeting schedule.
Perfect.
And moved by me.
Okay.
Need a second.
Can you repeat that motion? I'm confused what you're doing.
Move to amend the schedule to remove under new business item A1 and add under new business item D to approve our meeting schedule.
Just
Go ahead, Rod.
This is an observation. If you remove A1, then you don't need A2 anymore.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry. You're right. I missed that. Basically remove A, both 1 and 2.
Right.
Yeah.
And add D, which would be meeting schedules. I moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Who was that?
Mark.
Mark. Oh, thank you.
Discussion.
Well,
Everybody clear what? Go ahead.
My discussion would be that in everything that I received in my packet, nothing would dictate that we have to do this, because it appears to me, after downloading from Giffel Webster's share file system 144 pages, after typing in a link that it has at least 200 characters, I didn't see that there were any changes that I could recognize that were made to our submitted document after the November 17th meeting. I could argue with the location of some of the things that were in there, but that doesn't really matter. Everything that we added and or deleted was in there as far as I could see. Now, that doesn't mean that I recognized every character, obviously, because I looked at the original document that we got on November 17th. Then I looked at what was downloaded again in our packet for this meeting, which starts with the table of contents and lists all the things from land use analysis to land use analysis to a number of pages on a Harson's Island Bridge. And the only thing that one could argue with that in that we did make an assumption that it was a lift bridge, which probably is not necessarily correct.
Yeah.
But other than that, that would obviously be taken care of with the presentation of a master plan to the Planning Commission. And there
Rod, do you have anything?
Yeah.
Are you done, Whitey?
Yes.
Okay, Rod, go ahead.
If I could just make an observation, there were some minor wording changes. That's why we were hoping to get this on the agenda to have you readopt it, just so you had the full document in front of you. And if you would like, if the Planning Commission is interested in seeing a red line version, we can share the screen so you can see what changed. If that's of interest.
No, we already removed it from the agenda. The only thing I have to say about it is that after numerous public hearings and subsequent unanimous adoption by the Planning Commission, I see no reason to open it up for further discussions.
Any other further discussion? All right, so we have a motion and we have a second, correct?
We have a motion and we have a second, and we need a roll call vote.
Yes, please, Whitey.
Mark Borchardt.
Yes.
Chris Hiltunen, sorry.
Yes.
Whitey Simon, yes. Christine Holcomb.
Yes.
Harold Bain.
Yes.
Keith Bell.
Yes.
Robert Muesling.
No.
Tom Kozel.
Yes.
Robert Muesling.
I responded once, but no.
Wait, no. Didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I marked you. How about Keith Bell? Did you also say no?
I said yes.
Ah, there you go. That's where I made the mistake.
Maybe we better clarify this.
I will repeat.
Please.
Mark Borchardt, yes. Chris Hiltunen, yes. Whitey Simon, yes. Christine Holcomb, yes. Harold Bain, yes. Keith Fell, yes. Tom Kozel, yes. Robert Muesling, no. Kathy Schweikart.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you, Whitey. Item number 6, approval of minutes. Excuse me, number 5, I'm sorry. Number 5, approval of minutes.
Oh yeah, let's see, I got that here. I got my hair receipt.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the November 17th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting as submitted.
Support, anybody?
I'll second that.
And who was that?
Robert.
Robert.
How about we do this tonight, because we have a lot of people. Just when you either make a motion and or second it, just state your name and then the motion.
In full, okay? Because obviously the doesn't carry across where we can all recognize the voices that we could if we were face to face. Would appreciate that. Thank you. Robert, Christine, discussion.
Roll call.
Tom Kozel.
Well, since I've missed the last meeting, can I abstain?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll do that then.
Robert Muesling.
Yes.
Keith Fell.
I will also abstain since I missed the meeting as well.
Okay. Chris Hiltunen.
I too will abstain from the vote since I missed the meeting.
Thank you. Whitey Simon, yes. Christine Holcomb.
Yes.
We lose Whitey?
I lost her.
Here he is.
Did you lose me?
We did lose you, Whitey.
Let me see. Where am I?
No, you're back
I'm
now. You're back. You just kind of went in and out. You were doing roll call.
Christine.
Yes.
Harold Bain.
Yes.
Mark Borchardt.
Yes.
And Kathy Schweikart.
Yes, thank you, Whitey.
Thank you.
Item number 6, new business. If I'm understanding correctly, new business, we're going to go to item A is no longer there. So going to item B, which is 9303 Stone Road, which either Rod or Eric are probably going to, wherever they went.
Madam Chair, you asked me to be on this for the first thing on the agenda, and that's been removed, so I should probably leave.
That would be fine.
Okay.
Thank you for joining.
Yep, thank you.
Madam Chair, I can present this.
Sure, go right ahead.
So if you recall, a couple of years ago, we had a similar request for the Harson's Island Distillery. This is a use determination. So where the zoning ordinance doesn't specifically address a use that's desired by an applicant, there's a process where people can petition the zoning commission to get clarification on if a use is permitted or not. So in this case, the use in question is boat storage and repair. This is on a site that is landlocked, so it doesn't really qualify as a marina. It's a smaller site, and the applicant is discussing starting with boat storage, shrink wrap boat storage, and then likely having some repair eventually. The property is currently zoned C2, and we've been working with the applicant and the township to instruct the applicant that they would likely need to rezone to C3. That district is where marinas are permitted. So with that being the closest use, we feel that C3 would be the most appropriate district if a rezoning can be achieved by the applicant. But the question that the applicant has is, if they are successful in obtaining C3 zoning, since the zoning ordinance doesn't specifically address the use, they would like to know if it would be a principal permitted use if the rezoning is approved, or if they would need special land use after obtaining rezoning approval. So this is more of an interpretation or a determination that they're seeking prior to applying for a rezoning to the C3 district.
And the applicant is Denny Rowland?
Yes, it's Denny Rowland for 9303 Stone Road.
Okay.
The way to look at this, you could look at this broadly, where, you know, in the entire township, would C3 be an appropriate district for boat storage and repair? Cindy did some research and found that most of the marinas in the township are in the C3 district. So that's a good sign. But this is a little bit more unique of a use. It's not something that's addressed by the NAI CS code. So this is why we're bringing this to you.
So this is more of a discussion right now, and per your memorandum, which I'm sure everybody has in their packet, kind of lays out what the differences are. And
yes, we provided a list of C2 uses and C3 uses for comparison. So the applicant's intending to rezone to C3, and if they're approved, they'd like to know if they would be permitted under a principal use, or if that would be a special land use. And something to consider with that would be that it's more of an outdoor storage use. Uses that are slightly more intense than other business uses, those tend to be special land uses. But so that's kind of what we would like to focus the discussion on.
We have, we have across the street a C3 industrial as well. It could be rated industrial.
Yep.
To the east of that property is residential. It backs up to their property line. So if it were to be going C3, obviously that would have to go out to a letter. Would have to go out to residential neighbors. Is that correct?
Yes, it would still have to do the whole rezoning process with the public hearing and the notices. And we haven't indicated that's favorable or unfavorable, just that's the procedurally, that seems to be the beginning route that the applicant should take to look at.
Yeah, that property to the, I'll say south on Marsh Road, I'm not really sure what that is. Who owns that? Does anybody know? Is that part of the does the township own that? Part is the cemetery or what?
I believe it's part of the cemetery.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it is part of the cemetery. Okay.
There's a similar marina on Mill, up closer to Lee on the east side that's been there for years. That looks to be kind of almost the same thing. He's got old boats stored out there and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, there was a issue at the board about that property.
Yeah.
Running a C3.
I don't know what he is.
Area, so that's the reason I brought that up.
So, because I live around the corner, here's my question. It's already being used for boat storage without having this approval and or any discussion on it. And I agree. It should. I would say it'd be a dry marina, and it's not necessarily on the water. So I'd say that it needs to be rezoned to C3. And if it's not, since it'd be an outdoor storage, even if it's storing, if it's not considered a marina, that'd go underneath. What would this mini storages is under C3 also. So that'd be a similar use there.
Yeah. So if we did a C3, we'd still see a site plan, right?
Yep. Yeah, you'd have to have a site plan for that.
Yeah. You'd have to have a rezoning first, then you'd see a site plan with a special land use and a public hearing if you went that direction.
Thank you, Rod. You indicated special land use. That's what I would think about also, that I don't think you want to open it up to any kind of a marina in that area. And my concern was when I looked at the platting that it's a fairly small lot and requires certainly the site to be protected from front, rear, back. And I only look at the garage and repair shop that we authorized on Point Tremble a few years back. And we were going to have 8 cars parked in there. And I don't think you can walk between the cars that are parked there and stored there ad nauseum. That would be my only concern. And that's why I would agree with Mark or was it Keith, that C3 is fine, but it should stay as special land use.
So I have a question regarding that. If I'm reading this correctly, under section 1502, subheading 4, if it was C3, if I'm reading this correct, he would not need a special land use because it reads automobile, recreational vehicle, boat, truck, and agricultural equipment sales, service, and storage. Am I reading that correct, Rod?
Well, it depends on how you interpret it. If you interpret it, I don't know if that, it doesn't appear that the intent of that was to allow sole storage under that category. It's more like the storage would be part of the sales and service. So I guess that's one of the questions that's being asked is, do you think it's closer to being a principal permitted use, or is it more in line with the special land uses in that district? And that's something that requires some interpretation given the way it's written.
I think maybe we need to clear up exactly what he's going to be using it for, because if he's going to start putting canvases on boats, that's the C3.
Well, the intention in the very short term is with the idea is what we'd like to do is put a building on it and you do marine service on the property. Okay. And the building would be what you would see. You'd see a fence and you'd see a building, and that's it. If there's any boat storage, it would be behind it.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm not sure who's speaking.
Denny Rowland.
Denny?
Denny.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I was having a couple different technical difficulties. I think I was trying to join a meeting from earlier today, so I apologize for that.
I do have a question though, because as it stands right now, there is a fence. There's a bunch of boats behind that fence, but there's also boats for sale in front of the fence. So what is your intention again for what you want to do? Can you please repeat that?
The intention is to put a building. The intention is to put a building on the property and to do marine service inside of that building.
I think when you look at the record, they probably are not his boats because the property was sold in April.
Well, I just went by
Are
today.
we having difficulties?
Okay, I just went by the property day because I go by there almost every day, and there's a bunch
the intention is to put a building on the property and do marine service inside of that building, and also do boat storage alongside and behind that building.
Do you currently own the boats that are on that property?
Do I own them? No.
Okay.
Do you even own the property?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
He just bought it in April.
Okay.
Yes.
Are the boats that are on that property right now being stored there?
Yes.
Already?
Yes.
Yes.
But you also have items for sale there, correct?
If there might be a boat for sale. It's not the intention is to be used as a boat storage lot or sales lot or anything like that. No.
Your intention is not to do that.
No, it's not a sales lot or used boat sales lot. That is not the intention.
Well, the only problem with that is the boats that are in front. You got to pull your boats in. Are you going to have boat storage there if somebody drops them off so close to the street?
No. The intention is to keep everything behind the fence. If I have a boat or two out in front, it's short term. Or if maybe one boat might be up for sale or something like that.
So you have 110 foot of frontage, 318 deep, 0.66 acres. How many boats can you have there? Anybody know?
Without a building or anything, 35, 40.
So that'd be complete storage.
Yeah, but like I said, the intention is to put a building on the facility and do marine services there.
Mm-hmm. Now you realize go to C3 or even the special land use, it's all going to have to be paved.
I'm learning all this, Mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it changes it a lot.
So Rod, what we're really trying to find out from the Planning Commission is C3 special land use or just permitted? Is that kind of the ultimate question we're trying to clarify here?
Yes. Basically because you're not deciding on this particular site, you're deciding in general. If someone's proposing a use that's been described to you, which is primarily a boat storage operation, would you find that to be in line with the principal permitted uses or the special land uses in the C3 district or any other district? But that's essentially the question. I mean, you could, it seems to us that it's closer, it doesn't really belong in C2.
No, it doesn't, because he's going to do marina work there. He's going to do mechanic work.
Right. And so that does not seem to be a C2 use. So the question is, if you agree it's in C3, do you find that it is more in line with principal permitted use or special land use?
I think it would determine if he has the service building up first or not, because if the service building is there, then you think it would be under a principal use number 4, that there would be service and storage. But if there is no building, then that would just be a storage lot.
Right.
I agree.
Very good.
Yeah, that's kind of where we started with this. It was just boat storage originally, and the repair servicing was added as a.
So the applicant's actually basically he just wants to know if he can get it rezoned to C3, if that's going to be a permitted use.
Yeah, all he's asking is if he's successful in getting it zoned to C3, will he be able to do this use, and will it be a principal use or a special land use? He just wants to know what he's looking at if he's successful in getting rezoning.
So he needs to get to C3, and then at that point, he can come back and decide whether he's going to put the service portion of the business up, which if he did, that would be a permitted land use. And if you just wanted boat storage, then that would probably become for a special land use.
Right. If that's the direction you go, then that would be the direction you would give him.
Right. But that's up to us then, right?
That's up to you as the planning commission to make that determination.
Yeah.
Right.
At that point in time, we'd come back with 1 or 2 site plans.
Yep.
Respectively. Okay.
Right.
I think Crystal's
going to. So our task really is to advise that in order to do what he would like to do, he should go for a rezoning.
That would be the first step.
That's step 1.
I mean, and that's just advice.
Yep.
Well, in saying that, I think what you're saying is you're finding that this use would only be allowed in a C3 district and not a C2 district.
Correct.
Yeah.
I kind of think I'm going along that range. Yeah.
And is the planning commission then generally in agreement that if there is a building where there is a sales or service operation in addition to outdoor storage behind the building, then that would be a principal permitted use. But if it's storage only, then that would be treated as a special land use. Is there general agreement from the planning commission on that?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Okay. Then I think that resolves it then.
Perfect.
And keep in mind, Sam's store is right next to it, so.
Right.
So that gives the applicant the information he needs to proceed how he chooses, correct?
Correct. It's up to him now. Yes.
Okay.
Got it.
So does the applicant understand that?
I'm working on it. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Any more questions or?
I will have more, but not at the moment. I appreciate everybody's help.
Okay, so we're pretty on the same page right now. What has to be done?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well, good luck. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all your help.
Well, thank you for joining the meeting. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to move on to item number or letter C, election of officers. And I would start with opening the election for, how about the secretary?
I'll make a motion to appoint Whitey as the Clay Township Planning Commission secretary for the term 2020 through 2024.
No, wait a minute.
I don't think we go that long.
Remember, I have to be reappointed then sometime during the next couple of years.
Usually we do 1 year at a time.
Yes, of course.
That's minor details, Whitey.
Through 2021.
Yeah, minor. Any
Or
other
unless somebody really wants,
really
wants to do this for the next 4 months on Zoom, I guess I could go and agree to that.
Well, we gotta talk about your internet connection though.
Well, I'll talk about everybody else's too.
Yeah, well,
I am on Comcast, and the only thing is I may go upstairs with my computer because my box is up there and the Wi-Fi may not go through all the walls as well as it should. But I've had other ladies and gentlemen flake off too.
Oh.
Nice way to put it. All right.
I'll second that motion.
Connection is a little slow because of everybody that's using it.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry, Robert.
Yeah,
I said I think the Comcast internet connection is lagging.
I can't hear him.
No.
Hey, Robert, we can't hear you.
Robert, are you at Whitey's house?
I may be.
Keith, I like that one. That was pretty good.
Thank you, Keith. I'll remember.
Okay. Let's see if we can get back on track. I'm sorry. Okay, secretary, there's Whitey, anybody else?
I believe Tom seconded it. Am I correct?
Tom seconded.
Okay.
Mark and Tom? Okay, thank you. How about a vice?
We got to vote on you first. Do we need
Yeah,
a
we got to vote on you
for each
first.
position?
Pardon?
We got to vote on you first, Whitey.
Oh, do we? Oh.
Yes. That was just a motion.
Oh.
Go ahead, Whitey.
Mark Borchardt.
Yes.
Chris Hiltunen.
Yes.
Whitey Simon, no. Christine Holcomb.
Too bad, yes.
Too bad, yes.
Harold Bain.
Yes.
Keith
Maybe.
Bell.
Can I say yes twice to override your no?
Yes.
Yes.
Tom Kozel.
Yes.
Robert Musling.
Yes.
And
Good
Kathy
job.
Schweikart.
Yes. Congratulations, lady.
Thank you. You're quite welcome.
Okay, how about nominations for vice?
Madam Chair, I would move that Christine Holcomb be nominated for vice.
I'll second that.
That was Robert and...
Nope, that was Keith.
Was that Keith?
Wait a
That was
minute.
Keith.
Oh.
Keith only missed one time, and you forgot his voice already.
I know,
Keith
right?
and Harold. Okay. Keith and Harold.
Okay, any more?
Close nominations.
Yeah, close nominations. Go ahead, Whitey.
Mark Borchardt.
Yes.
Chris Hiltunen.
Yes.
Whitey Simon, yes. Christine Holcomb.
Yes, and thank you.
You're quite welcome. Harold Bain.
Yes.
Keith Fell.
Yes.
Tom Kozel.
Yes.
Robert Musling.
Yes.
And Kathy Schweikart.
Yes, thank you,
Now we need a
Whitey.
chairperson.
Yes, nominations for chair.
I make a motion to nominate Kathy Schweikart for chairperson of the Planning Commission.
Second.
Any more nominations?
Close
Okay, go ahead.
nominations.
No,
Go
that's
ahead,
enough.
Whitey.
Mark Borchardt.
Yes.
Chris Hiltunen.
Yes.
Whitey Simon, yes. Christine Holcomb.
Yes.
Harold Bain.
Yes.
Keith Fell.
Yes.
Tom Kozel.
Yes.
Robert Musling.
Yes.
Kathy Schweikart, yes. Oh, we appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. The honor you've bestowed upon us is just too tremendous.
Oh, Whitey. Thank you, everyone.
It sounds like you changed your voice, Whitey. How'd that happen? Was that
Hey,
a report?
Is that your upstairs voice?
Yeah. Item D is approval of the 2021 meeting dates. And I did review the dates and they do appear to coincide with what we would normally do. So.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the schedule of the Clay Township Planning Commission meeting for 2021. Do you need me to read the dates?
I would think so, yes.
Okay. Following dates will be the meetings for 2021 of the Planning Commission, January 27th, February 24th, March 24th, April 28th, May 26th, July 23rd, July 28th, August.
Wait a minute.
Hold it. That was June 20th, not July.
I'm
June
sorry.
23rd.
June 23rd.
You mentioned July twice.
July 28th.
Thank you.
August 25th, September 22nd, October 27th, November 10th, and December 8th.
Correct.
All right.
I'll second the motion. This is Keith.
Keith.
Yes.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mark Borchardt.
Yes.
Chris Hiltunen.
Yes.
Whitey Simon, yes. Christine Holcomb.
Yes.
Harold Bain.
Yes.
Keith Fell.
Yes.
Tom Kozel.
Yes.
Robert Musling.
Yes.
Kathy Schweikart, the chair.
Yes, thank you, Whitey.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item number 7, which is unfinished business. We see it says none. I'm going to say probably next year, well, obviously next year, be back on track with the stuff that's still hanging out as far as fence, waterfront, you know,
Storage
all those
containers.
Yeah, there you go. There's a few other ones out there that Rod and Eric are working on too. So, okay. So item number 8 is planning consultants report.
Just to let you know, we've got a newsletter that's almost done and you'll have it for your next meeting, but we didn't have it ready for this one. So that's coming. Eric, do you have anything?
Did we lose Eric?
No, he's there.
Eric.
He has left the, oh no, there he is.
There he is. He hasn't left.
Maybe he's muted. Can't hear us.
Can you hear me?
Eric, can you hear us?
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. Did you say something about me?
Yeah, it's just I was just
Sorry.
We're talking about you, Eric.
I just mentioned we got a newsletter coming next month. It's almost ready, and I was just asking if you had anything you wanted to add for the public.
No, just to pick up what Kathy was saying, that we'll pick up the waterfront fences, short-term rentals, outdoor storage, Rose Marine site plan review, likely in January. So
We'll be busy, I'm sure.
Oh.
So, well, thank you very much from our planners. You have worked very, very hard on everything for sure. So
ZBA.
Number 9 is ZBA report.
It was canceled. The meeting was canceled.
Okay, thank you, Harold. Item number 10 is board representatives report, which would be Mark.
I have nothing to report per se. However, thank Eric for bringing up the waterfront fencing. I'm getting feedback from the public on that issue. So I'd like to have it brought back on January the 27th. We can do some more work on it. Maybe make a definition on where we're going to go with it. I know what we've done already, and however, it doesn't seem to satisfy a lot of the other or conflict with the ordinances basically. So we need to, let's focus on that as much as we can. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Chairperson's report, I'm not so much sure I have anything to report, is other than we do have a couple additions for like zoning ordinance and a couple of highlights there. There were some emails that I asked Cindy to pass along as far as some inquiry master plan, which then takes me to either Eric or Rod. What would be the next procedure? Because I know in November we did pass what we thought was the master plan to send on. I haven't signed anything yet. Technically, where are we at this point?
So you would basically, we got to finalize signing that the resolution of adoption, and then that gets transmitted to the township board, and then the township board will take action, and then that's the final step.
Okay, so I need to get with Cindy and
sign that resolution of adoption, and then have
Right.
it scanned and sent to us so we can incorporate it into the draft. And then we will prepare the draft so that it can then be included in the township board's packets.
Okay. That clarifies what we need to do. Thank you. I appreciate that. Other than that, I just would say thank you, everybody, for all your hard work. It's been a little more challenging on Zoom for sure. So appreciate everybody's help. Item number 12 would be Planning Commission member comments. Sounds
I
pretty
would
quiet
like
up
to
there.
wish everybody a happy, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's.
Yep.
We might as well work on the Happy Easter too, because we won't be seeing each other in person before then.
Yeah, you're right. I just want to thank Rod and Eric for all the hard work you guys done this year, because you really put in a lot of effort on a lot of stuff.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'd
And
like
thank you
to
for-
second that.
Yes.
The only thing I would like to ask you, the next time you send us a link to your, could you make it a little shorter?
Yes, sir.
I just pasted in there, copy and paste.
Didn't come across again?
Go ahead,
Yes,
don't
sir.
try and type it.
It's always on the township. It's always on the building department's website too. If you go there, there'll be a link.
Yeah, no, but that was the the recent transmission that says, here's the new one. And got a nice little old email from Cindy, I think. And boy, oh boy, that was, do you have that much on that share file system?
It's just the way the file names are. It should have just been a hyperlink. You click on it. You shouldn't have had to enter it, but we will, next time we'll provide you with a shorter link.
You can copy and paste it in there, Whitey.
I'm not going to tell you how many times I screwed it up.
That's all I did.
Well, in fact, the two of us were on our computers trying to make sure that he got the correct S8, Fs, BB, 33s, and all the other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We'll make sure that doesn't happen. Thank you.
I tried to get everything pasted.
Thank you very much. That was a good link, though.
Okay.
I do appreciate the planners sending the stuff to Cindy, because last time I didn't get my mail, even though you guys mailed it on November 9th or November 5th. I never got it till after the meeting. So I appreciate you taking the extra effort to do that, because mail apparently is really slow right now. So appreciate it. Any other Planning Commission member comments? Hearing none, I'm going to move on to item number 13, which was public comments. Anybody in the public? You want to do what we normally do, Christine?
Sure. I'm going to unmute, I think I did, Carol Sampson.
Hello.
Hello. Please state your name.
Carol Sampson, 6039 Point Trumbull Road. Okay, I have a few questions for Rod or Eric, whoever wants to answer them. I have a list of addresses from like the public pier to the Colony Motel that goes west of the public pier. And on the map that we have for the current residential transition, it's like, are all the homes, there's like 13 properties that go to the Colony Motel. Are all those addresses in the residential transition map?
Madam Chair, would you like me to answer that?
Sure, go right ahead.
I just want to make it clear, and I think maybe it was in an email that I had sent. The boundaries in the master plan on the future land use map are very generalized. They're not parcel specific. So I can't really tell you with absolute certainty the properties that are included. It generally aligns with properties, and I think you were given addresses that generally align with what those boundaries are on the map. But because this is not a zoning map, it is a future land use map, it is considered to be very general in terms of the location. And it doesn't necessarily mean that those lines are hard defined and are never subject to further interpretation. But I believe you've been provided with the information based upon an approximation of where those areas are on the map.
Okay, so you're saying that the properties that exist on this map now, with the master plan that doesn't have boundaries, so they can take up the contiguous properties within the residential transition and do the building and do what they need to do?
Well, the master plan does not change zoning. So if anybody wanted to change the zoning on their property, they would have to petition the Planning Commission. They would hold a public hearing, give due notice, and it would go to the Township Board. In making their recommendation, the Planning Commission is going to look at the master plan and the future land use map as guidance in making that determination. One cannot predict what that answer is going to be, nor what the Township Board is going to do. But the land use plan is a guide that is used and has a significant influence on land use decisions. And so, but any land use change at the zoning level, if you want to have the zoning changed on your property, that requires a specific action. Property owner would petition, and then there's no way of predicting what the township's going to do until a petition is made and a hearing has been held.
Okay, I think at the last meeting you stated that the waterfront commercial is the form-based zoning.
We indicated that the waterfront commercial could include a new district that has some form-based elements, which means that it tends to focus more on form, meaning placement of the building, so that the general surrounding area, in this particular instance, has a more of a walkable nature, where the buildings are more likely to be closer to the roadway at the corner, and not set back far from the roadway with large parking lots in front, and a form based. It wouldn't be what would normally, in the vernacular of our industry, a form-based code could be very, very complex and very detailed. This would be a simplified version of a new zoning district that would have some form-based elements to it to ensure that you get the type of form that's envisioned in the master plan. Once again, this would be subject to the Planning Commission actually making a determination that they want to create a new zoning district, and the Township Board also approving it. So nothing is actually in place. This is a concept that is in the master plan.
Okay, so what kind of land use zoning are you going to be using for the residential transition? What is it going
that
to
would be, well, right now it's zoned what it is, and most of that property is zoned multiple family. So that's the current zoning that applies there. In the future, there will likely need to be a new zoning district that the Planning Commission, as part of implementation of the master plan, will be studying, and they may in fact decide to create a new zoning district for that. We don't know for sure if that's going to happen, but that's one of the items that's envisioned in the master plan.
So we don't know if it's a functional zoning or an intensity zoning or an incentive zoning. You don't know what the residential transition would be?
There hasn't been a formal determination of all the elements that would go into that until the Planning Commission studies it.
Okay.
That wouldn't be rezoning your property. It would be a new district that property owners would be allowed to utilize for a rezoning application. So that would be creating the district, would not be rezoning property.
Okay, well, I think that's, I mean, I still haven't gotten too much of an answer with which properties are on the residential transition, because I know it's not, the properties aren't formed yet on the plan, but they are formed in reality on land. So I'm assuming that all the addresses I have are in residential transition then.
I would use the map more so than the addresses. The addresses can change. They don't always tie to the ground. The map will give you a better idea if you compare the future land use map with the zoning map, where those areas are.
The map isn't, I mean, it's not very efficient on what properties are actually in there.
And that's intentional.
Yeah, so we can't tell. Okay. All righty. Well, thank you. You have Merry Christmas. And
you too, thank you.
Thank you.
So Chris, you want to choose another person?
Got Gary. Gary, did you want to speak?
Yeah, I have no comment at this time.
Kevin McDougall.
Good evening. Good evening. I just wanted to, I noticed you guys said starting next year you were going to do small, short-term leases or rentals, I'm saying. I'm just having a real major problem with my neighbor. It's an Airbnb, and we just had probably 4 more families move in at the same time. They're from Texas. I've seen up to 20 people be at this house. They had porta-johns that they had delivered to their cottage to sustain all the people. And I know when I bought the place, it was an R1, and I just don't know how somebody can just come in and just totally load up this house with rentals and fishermen. We'll have 6 boats on the property at one time. I've had my flowers, my front totally ran over. I had my lot surveyed to try and deter it. I'm trying to play ball with the homeowners, but I'm at wit's end. I've met Artie before about this, and Artie says, you know, there's nothing on the books right now. And, you know, we don't really have too many problems, but on Inglewood, my address is 7867 Inglewood. It's a whole different ballgame. The house next to me advertises, holds up to 14 people. God forbid if anything ever happened, a fire or something like that, I know they don't have proper egresses, nothing. I stopped going to my cottage a lot during the summer because of it. If we go there and I have small kids, I have, you know, my nieces and nephews come over. I'm pretty terrified because I don't know any of the people and they're all from out of state. Some of them are pretty rough. And I didn't buy that when I moved into the township. I think we really have to start to address that because I don't want anything to happen. But you know what? Right now it's a big money grab. He gets huge amounts of money for it. And he's not going to stop until the township steps in and let it be building codes or whatever. But an R1 is a residential, not multi-families, which they have. And a lot of them are from out of state, New York. And some of them are friendly. You know, they have kids and stuff, but I never know week to week what I'm going to go up against. And I really need, that's why I'm sitting on these Zoom meetings, and I've finally had enough of this, and I got to be adamant about trying to do something on this.
No, we appreciate your comments, and this is definitely one of the top items for our January meeting that we're going to start tackling. So I appreciate your comments, and please join our meetings anytime. We really need the input. Okay.
I appreciate it.
Kathy, I just have one suggestion too.
Sure, go ahead.
Airbnb and those companies, they have internal complaint procedures where they will shut down a rental if there's a party, and they do have special enforcement measures they're doing now because of COVID, that they're trying to discourage large gatherings like that in their facilities. So there's an online form you can submit with the address and with
Eric. Have you ever done it?
I haven't done it, but I've read where there's been some successful cases where they've been shut down.
It's a nightmare. I've done it many a times. Right now, to have 20 some people over, you know what? I work for Oakland University, and I'm all about the COVID and the rules and stuff like that, but nobody's following them there. And even though we're outside, they come right to my property line. They bring their dogs over. I can't even have my dog out, which, you know, I have it like an invisible fence. I've had my sod ruined, and when I call over there, it's, I put 2 complaints in. It's strictly by email. You never can talk to a person. And, you know, I have the homeowner's number, and I've called a couple times on it because it was so bad, and they just blow me off on it. So the Airbnb way is not the way to go. I need the backing of the township to go back to an R1 and let it go back to a rental property, which it was. And when I bought it, I was aware of that. But you know what? I know who my neighbor is because they usually have a 1-year lease. I have different people every single week. And if you read the address form 7869, they advertise 12 to 14 people. So they encourage multiple families, multiple fishermen, instead of one family. So that's the problem that I have. It's a big house that they put bunk beds in every single room just to put them in. So
we'll appreciate your information.
Okay.
Thanks, Eric, for the extra. Okay, we'll see how we get going on January with this, because I know our planners are very much aware of, we're trying to figure out what to do with this topic. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas.
You too. Merry Christmas, everybody.
You too. My iPhone. Whoever has my iPhone, did you want to speak? No. Reed. Reed. No. I think that's it.
Cindy Valentine is on.
Oh,
I'm good, thank you.
How about George Burgess?
George Burgess, 5909 Point Trumbull Road, Pearl Beach. I'd like to thank all the members of the Planning Commission for their work for this past year. It's been a trying year, and hopefully next year will be much, much better, and maybe we can get back to regular meetings where we can see each other face to face. But my last words to you guys are Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thanks, George.
Thank you, Mr. Burgess. I appreciate that. I think we're all hoping to get back to live in person. So it's not for a while yet.
Is there anyone else?
Go ahead.
Is there anyone else that wants to speak? No? Anyone?
Sounds pretty. It's your last chance for last chance for 2020. 2021 yep. Might be a whole different program, but all right, thanks,
okay,
Chris.
I think we're good.
Thank you. Hearing no more public comments, I'm going to move on to item number 14, which would be adjournment.
Well, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
yep,
Happy
everybody.
Easter. I move to adjourn the last meeting of 2020.
Second. You mean Happy Easter, Whitey? Not yet.
Well, yeah, we're still going to be doing it.
Well, you know, as slow as Whitey's internet is, maybe if he says it now, we might get it by then.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
I've been watching this.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
My picture.
Merry Christmas.
You don't see my picture being erratic. And I've had many misses by many people who were talking at the time. So I don't know whether it's just one way or both ways.
We're just blaming you, Betty. We're done.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you.
But everybody have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see how 2021 goes.
Everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Healthy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Good night, everybody.
And where are we going to meet for a drink?
We look like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Brady Bunch.
Thank you.
Brady Bunch.
Yeah, all the squares.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
You too.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.